this is Sue. Welcome to Fireside Chat. I'm so glad you're here tonight. I'm very honored to have my guest, Jonathan Jackson, come visit. And what I'm hoping will be one of several sessions. So welcome, Jonathan.
Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. So lovely to meet your family. I'm so glad that they're, here and like plugged in and saying, oh, this is so cool. So I'm really happy about learning about your business. I wanted to know what services your business offers.
So my business is JTM Speaks, LLC.
Okay.
So my business, it's everything from motivational speaking to consulting. I do one-on-one consultation as well as group consultation.
Wow.
So if there's something that someone is going through, we can work through it together. They don't feel like they're alone.
Yeah.
But then also group consultation, if it's, a couple or if it's a few people that have the same issue, then we can work together on that.
Wow.
And then on stage presence. So that's where I go to seminars. I do panel events or I do motivational events for sports teams, jobs, companies. Yes. So it's very exciting.
I've heard you talk about faith over fear. Can you tell me how you came to that? It's a beautiful sentiment. How did you come to that?
So faith over fear is something that I really hone in on within my personal life. And then I like to express myself through others as well. So like faith over fear is having faith, which is believing in the things that are unseen.
Yeah.
And then as you continue on your path and some things may not make sense, you're still having faith that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Fear is the false evidence that appears real. So again, fear can stand for false evidence that appears real. So typically when people see things that look a certain way or feel a certain way, they believe the evidence that they're seeing and it appears real. So they are now counting themselves out and pushing themselves away from where they really are meant to be. So I live by faith over fear, just consistently walking on my correct path and giving it all to God and making sure that I'm right within myself.
That's incredible. Also heard you say it's okay to not be okay. That's very powerful.
Saying it's okay not to be okay. Many people, man and woman, they, men especially, we say, oh, we have to be the providers. Oh, we have to bring things to the table. Oh, we have to be a certain way in society. Oh, we have to always be tough.
Yeah.
We always have to keep a smile on our face. We always have to be the strong ones. But in men, I really let people know, like, hey, it's okay not to be okay, because when you realize that you're not okay and you actually take out time to fix those things that aren't okay and actually sit with your feelings, sit with your emotions, sit with how you're feeling, that's when the best results come out. Wow. And now you're not just brushing it off and moving forward, and then now you're still healing from the things that you could have healed from before. And with women, a lot of times women say, oh, well, I need to have everything in order. I need to take care of the kids. I need to make sure that I'm right for my man, or whatever the case may be. But if, once again, whether you're a man or a woman, if you're not taking care of the things that are inside of you and that are going on as they happen, and realizing that if you're not okay, embrace it. It's a part of your journey. It's going to help you level up to the next thing.
Yeah.
One last thing I wanted to say about the okay not to be okay. It was just flowing.
Yeah, please.
When you're not okay, that is the new base. That is the new grounding level of the next level.
Yeah.
So a lot of the things that you're going through, you may think like, oh man, it's hard. Oh man, it's a lot going on right now. But that's really the bottom level of your next level to level up.
It's like a baseline of a mountain that you're about to climb.
Exactly.
But it's kind of like then you climb that mountain and then it's as if there's a new baseline because you've kind of leveled up, I guess.
Exactly.
That's an interesting, I like that.
Thank you.
Can you share a personal story, a success story that drives your motivational message?
Really, it's based on what I went through. College was a real time for me, going through the ups and downs and really figuring out who I was. That was the first time that I was on my own because,
yes.
And when you're in high school and before, you're with your parents, you're at home, and you're in a safe place, if you will.
Absolutely.
For most people. But for me, when I went to college, it was the first time that I was really on my own, and I had to make my own choices. I had to figure out who I was and why I was the way that I was.
That's a lot.
Exactly.
In the middle of all the coursework and trying to get to know people and, okay, I'll be at that party. And it's so much, isn't it? It's all at once.
Yes, it's all at once, and sometimes you can lose yourself through that process.
Yes.
And I felt like I lost myself because I was so I didn't have any balance. I was so focused on making sure my grades were okay, making sure my family back at home was okay, making sure that I was okay mentally, physically, and emotionally. And that's a lot for someone sometimes. So
Yeah, but also that's a lot, like kind of emotionally and psychologically, like for someone your age, because usually kids would just kind of go through, yeah, like everything's in the moment, whatever. But like you're actually thinking about your family back home, like just shows your depth. That shows that they have truly been like an absolute anchor, like, for you, like they've instilled in you like this foundation, right?
exactly. Yes.
And I'm meeting them, and I'm just amazed at how lovely, what beautiful, beautiful family you have. Like honestly, I'd like to be an honorary Jackson.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, honestly, whether it's your actual family or it's someone that you can trust, as long as you have people in your corner that truly support you. See, honestly, people try to handle everything on their own, and they try to
Yeah.
feel like, oh, well, I got this. Oh, well, if I'm struggling, I'll figure it out. But a lot of times when you have people in your corner that can boost you
Yeah.
and can lift you up when you're down, you don't always have to be strong. Going back to it's okay not to be okay.
Yes.
It's okay to ask others for help. It's okay to go back to the drawing board. It's okay to look at yourself in the mirror and say, you know what, I'm not okay. And these are the things that I'm going through, and be real with yourself. It's almost like an out of body experience
Yeah,
sometimes.
because you're looking at yourself, right?
Yeah.
It's like, and I've heard that relationship is kind of like a mirror for what you're projecting, putting out in the world. Like it's mirroring back at you. So if you want to change something about yourself, like it's kind of a great opportunity to say, is this really what direction I want to go in, or is this who I want to become? And I feel like with you, like the becoming is so powerful,
Yes.
right?
I totally agree.
How do you handle setbacks? I know you have faith. That must be a major factor, yeah?
It's definitely a major factor. Having faith and, handling setbacks. If you think about it like something that's pulling you back. So like
Yes.
if
Like kind of well-meaning people.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like if something is pulling you back, like every setback is kind of going back like this. And every setback is going to let go eventually, and is going to push you forward from where you started. So if this is your starting point and it's consistently pulling back, and as soon as you let go, as soon as you allow things to just happen, as soon as
Right.
you figure out what's going on, as soon as you
No more resistance.
no more resistance. And that resistance, the let's just say the tougher the resistance, the harder the resistance, the further that you'll go. The more setbacks, the more it is for the greater reward in the future.
That's true, isn't it? If you can kind of be centered in that even though this is difficult, I'm still going to be able to, get through it, or I'm going to get help so I can get through it. And it helps to have a community and all that too. Like I think sometimes you'll tell people your own age, like, hey, listen, tell me what you're going through. Let me see if I can give you some insight, or let me see if I can help you. Because people probably come to you and say, okay, I have this problem, Jonathan, and you're like, oh God, like people come to you
Yes.
because of your energy and because of like who you've become, that you're like a trusted like mentor, right, for people you just hang out and play basketball with, but they come to you, right?
Exactly. And that's really how it happened. It's part of the reason why I am where I am right now, wanting to do motivational speaking, wanting to be in the public, wanting to rehabilitate people from the inside out,
Yes.
is because people would tell me, they would say like, hey, you're the reason why I'm still living, or because you told me that, this is why I'm still here, or thank you for saying that you didn't know, but this is exactly what I needed to hear right now to help me get through. And these were things that were circulating in my mind. So I had to figure out, okay, well, what can I do with this? How can I turn this into something that I can do bigger than just that small nucleus of people that I'm doing it with? So that allowed me to branch out. And now I'm trying to reach anybody that I
Even
can in the
more.
world.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right. So I'm really glad because we're going to make sure that we have like your Instagram. We're just going to put that on the screen. That's your Instagram. So it's JTM Speaks 1. And can you tell me what JTM stands for?
JTM stands for Jay the Motivator. So my name is Jonathan. And one day I was sitting down just planning and kind of brainstorming, and I'm like, what's something that I could go by on stage that can leave a lasting impression in someone's
Yeah.
mind instead of Jonathan,
Right.
you know? So I was thinking, I'm like, JTM, and I'm like, whoa, Jay the Motivator. Like, okay, that flows. So from there, I created my logo. From there, I created my business, and I expanded on that. And now really I am trying to get to all age groups. Typically people say, okay, well, what's your main age group, or what's the main group that you're trying to talk to? But honestly, everyone is important. So no matter what you're going through or how you're going through it or where you are in your life, everyone deserves to be heard. Everyone deserves to have a chance at another chance.
You know, I just the other day I was thinking, you know, all we're really doing is walking each other home.
I like that.
Love that. Like,
I
it's just
like
like,
that.
ooh, like,
Yeah.
that just feels so good. But like, that's what you're doing. You're doing this with your family. You so showed up for your mom. So showed up, and
Thank you.
like, you know, and like to how amazing, what a miracle that Greg's mom is here.
Yes.
Like, it's a miracle.
Yes.
And it's just in the last like month, like you realized, you know, I really am the man of the family, right?
Yes. You know, life experiences teach you the best. So certain things that may happen, we may not like them when they happen.
Right.
I'm definitely in that group. Sometimes
Me too.
although I say what I'm saying now, and you know, I have to practice what I preach. I have to practice what I say as well, because it's easy to get caught up in the things of the world. It's easy to get caught up in the hurt, the stress, the procrastination, the downsides of life. But typically when you recenter yourself and you allow yourself to get there naturally, and
And like truly, the authentic you is arriving, where you know you don't want to go through this life like sleepwalking. Do you know what I mean? To your okay, so I want to show you this. That's a beautiful picture. Thanks for sharing this with me. So um, this was at a like a conference, or this is a TV.
So this was
Yeah,
for the Leadership
absolutely.
Experience Tour. So the Leadership Experience Tour is put on by Sean Fair.
Okay.
And it is where speakers can come to a place together, and
All
we
right.
all pretty much have some of the same goal, and we're able to broadcast our businesses, we're able to network, we're able to put ourselves out there vulnerably and allow other people to see what we're doing.
Okay.
And it's full of very talented people, and I was able to be invited to go to something like that, to where I was able to put myself out there,
And meet
say what was
others.
from the heart.
See that graphic there has other people who were invited, who were on stage. So it was really nice for you to like network with each other, and you know you could end up on stages together and like, hey, how you doing? You know,
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
nice.
Those sponsors that are listed on there, those were sponsors that are very hands-on within the organization, that
Okay.
really make sure that you see success, that you get to and through your goals. So
Major corporations.
yeah, I was very honored
Wow.
to be there.
This other picture here, I don't know if it's too small to read, but could you tell us a little bit about it? This is your mission statement.
Yes. So pretty much as it reads, you know, I am very passionate about what I do, and I really want people to be themselves. I want them to be resilient and make it to and through, as I said, the things that
Right.
they're aiming for. So, you know, I love the analogy of a ladder. Each step means something. A lot of times people try to go from the second step all the way to the 8th or 9th step, or all the way to the top.
Can't
And
skip.
it doesn't work like that, because you'll hurt yourself along the way.
Yeah.
Or you'll fall right back down and
Oh,
be back
yeah.
at the ground.
And then you're at zero.
Exactly. So every step that you're taking, whether it's one that you just left or one that is on its way up, each step shows you who you are, how you are, what you are, and it allows you to grow naturally through every step that you take.
Yeah, because you're bringing along others with you as you rise. I know another really nice thought, and I don't know who said this, but a rising tide lifts all ships. I love that. That's so what we're about, because it isn't just you rising. It's like your family, you know, like it's just so nice. Like I'd be happy to have Jalen teach about, trading and things like that, you know? So in people's time of trouble, what's your strategy for helping people?
You have to really focus on why it is that you're going through what you're going through. Sometimes you won't have the answer,
Right.
but if you find certain things stand out to you, if you find that you know, you're feeling a certain way, if you find that you've ended up there because of a choice that you made,
Yeah.
you have to focus. You have to ground yourself. You have to find whatever it is that you're going for, and you have to do it. A lot of times, things just stay in our minds and they circulate.
Yeah.
Things don't actually get executed to get you out of that season or out of that situation.
Right. And if you've never experienced it before, you might not know how to get out.
Right.
But it's always good to kind of like, hey, has anybody else been through this? You know, like it's amazing how much like there's community, there's forums, there's, you know, there's people that you can ask. And there might be somebody who's already been through this part of the career, you know? And so it's really nice that there are people at different levels and they're happy to help you because they know what it feels like
Right.
to be at the beginning, right?
Right. And what's truly helped me is writing things out.
Me too.
A lot of times, like, we keep it all in here and we keep it so close to home, but when you write it out or you jot it down in your notes on your phone, you're able to see it. You're able to visualize it. You're
Right.
able to now make a plan, even if you need to write it down and number it 1, 2, 3,
Yeah,
4
I do
until you
that.
get there. Now you can check it off, and that's a form of accountability. A lot of
Right.
times we're not accountable
Right.
for the things that we do and we say, which lead us backwards. But
Mm-hmm.
as soon as we're accountable and we're able to check it off, we're able to feel good about it. Celebrate the
Yes.
small wins.
I
A lot
totally
of
agree.
times people don't celebrate their
Totally
wins.
agree.
Soon as something good happens, they're like, it was going to happen anyway, or it's no big deal. But when you celebrate your small wins, that's really what gets you to the next level. Because when you consistently celebrate it, now when you look back, you're like, whoa, I've made it through all of this already. But when you don't celebrate it, you'll get to the top exactly where you want it to be,
Oh,
and you
gosh.
still won't be satisfied because you'll
Wow.
say, well, this was already going to happen, or I haven't done anything. When in reality, you've made it through so
Yes,
much.
you have, right? Yeah, my little thing is to buy a little piece of cake. That's what, that's how I just it's
However
so
you
funny.
celebrate
It's
it,
just like a
however you
little
celebrate.
thing. Oh my God, it's so funny. But then you're like, that was great, and then it kind of gives you like the impetus to kind of do the next thing or to keep going or to keep striving. And I feel like our brain needs, kind of an attaboy, before we put it, tax it again. Like we need to give it a kind of a, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like some kind of reward, some kind of thing. Go out with your friends and hang out and don't think about work, just that kind of thing. So I think that those are really good strategies. What do you think is a strength of yours and what's a weakness? What do you think?
Great question. A strength of mine, I would say, is meeting people where they are and not requiring them or expecting them to be where I am.
Very good.
I struggle with certain things. They may struggle with certain things. So typically it helps when you meet someone where they are because
Yes.
it allows them to feel equal with you at that time.
Yeah.
And that gives them a better perspective of, oh, okay, well, I may be strong in this. Your strong friends need strong people. So sometimes when you're working with someone, whether they're going through something or they have something pressing,
Right.
when you meet them where they are, it allows them to feel better equipped to get through that situation with you.
With
And it's
you.
not like it's in competition or they feel pressured or judged because they're going through what they're going through.
No, and like that graphic where it was other speakers, like you're not competing with each other. You're all of you like uplifting people. You're all doing like your heart's desire. And it's like, well, we can actually do it together. It doesn't only have to be one speaker
Right.
at each event. There can be like 5. It's okay.
Exactly. So I would genuinely say like that's one of my strengths is meeting people where they are
Yeah.
and helping them get through that situation so that they can level
Right.
up. I would say a weakness is probably caring too much or being too involved when it comes to putting it on myself. If someone's down or someone's going through something, I kind of take it personal in a way.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's
You
really
take it to heart, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Like, oh, it hurts. Like,
because you really want that person to
You
make it
really
through,
do.
whether I know them or not. So
Oh, God.
it's something that I'm working on to be able to balance within myself. But, I just want everybody to succeed. I want them to be happy. I want them to, set their goals and then reach their goals.
Yes, definitely. Well, I think your mom is such a brave warrior because she went from having, a massive stroke to like speaking and laughing and coming here and visiting. And, I just so happy to meet her because she's like an absolute warrior, isn't she?
Truly, and as I always say, that whole situation, the whole ordeal with her having a massive stroke allowed me to go from a boy to a man. And I
Yeah.
didn't know that was coming. I didn't know
Yeah.
that was going to happen. But through that, it taught me more patience. It taught me more care. It taught me more love. It taught
Yeah.
me genuine love and genuine happiness because any moment every moment is important. A lot of times we brush
Right.
things off and we
Right.
just say, you know what, it is what it is. But really, when you focus, when you focus on, okay, this moment is setting me up for this. This
Yes.
moment is because of this. This, my family's important. My friends are important. Their feelings are important.
Yeah.
The way that we talk to each other is important. If you're beefing, let it go. Either find a way to reconcile or move on.
Yeah.
But a lot of people hold it in, and that does bad for the inside of us.
Yeah.
And through her situation, it taught me, like, it's okay when you plan for things and they don't happen the way that they do, because
Right.
something else is better. God does not close one door without opening up another one.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it's just a whole process that took me through,
Mm-hmm.
mentally, emotionally, physically, realizing who I really was internally.
I guess the cool thing about your life is that you learning like really major lessons young is that you get to have like the rest of your life to enjoy the benefits of doing the hard work. Because it's like, I feel like we all have to do that hard work. But some of us, we get to 80 and we're like, why didn't we do those things that look so interesting? And then you have all this regret. And I think I read something, and I don't know what the word is, the exact words, Jonathan, but it was something like, if you think fear is bad, wait till you get the bill for regret. And that just hits.
Say that again.
If you're like worried about fearing to do something, like that's like nothing compared to you being like 80 and thinking, I have days now. And you think of all the things you didn't do.
Yeah.
You don't think about the things you did. You think about all the things you didn't do. That
Right.
cute girl you didn't talk to, and that, that little trip that you could have taken with your buddies, and, just things. And it's funny, like those three things I've shared with you, like they're so universal and so important. And I need to kind of find them and write them down and send them to you, because it's not fair for me to say them to you and not say them perfectly, but you get the idea, right?
I do. And it speaks more to the point of brushing yourself off. If you trip, it was a part of the journey. Because again, if you're living your life to the fullest, you won't have those regrets. And speaking of regrets, like, I've thought about this for a while. If I have regrets, I wouldn't be where I am today. Some things are very uncomfortable. Some things we don't want to go through again.
Yeah.
Some things we didn't want to go through in the first place.
Right.
But, certain things, if we categorize them as regrets and we only view them as regrets, then now we're beating ourselves up. And sometimes we have to give ourselves grace. We have to pick ourselves up sometimes. Sometimes other people may not be there in that time, when it's quiet, when it's dark, when it's lonely, when it's pressing on us.
Yes.
Sometimes we have to sit with ourselves and say, okay, is this a lesson or was this a blessing?
Yeah.
And if it was a lesson, learn from it. If it was a blessing, thank God. So, and then from there we just keep going.
Yeah, I've heard you either win or you learn.
Yeah.
So it isn't win or lose. It's you win or you learn. And that's kind of a nice way to think about things. Because it's true, in your life, all of these things like have been turned into strengths. Like your compassion is such a strength, like if you get married, you're going to be so patient and caring and loving to that person. You're going to be like looking in her eyes and saying, what do you need to do that you aren't doing?
Right.
Well, let's go do it.
Right.
Like, it just makes you such a strong partner to see how your dad takes care of your mom.
Right.
And how your mom always took care of all of you. And now you guys are like taking care of her and helping her. Like, hey, what would you like to do, Mom? Like, you want to go see a movie or whatever? And she's like right there. She's a happy little thing, isn't she?
As far as my parents go, they're nothing short of a blessing. All my family, it takes a village to raise someone, and with the lessons that I've learned from them, with the gratitude that I give back to them, because certain things I didn't understand growing up, and now that I'm older, and now that I'm growing, and now that I'm seeing different things and sides of life, I'm like, thank you, because you really spared me from a lot of things that could have went worse. And
Definitely.
Like, we just the natural nurturing.
This one life, like we can't waste it, and you're just completely right in the center of your purpose. And I love that, because like you get to chart the rest of your life, and you don't have to think, oh, there's 40 years of things that I have to undo. Not at all.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's just, where do you want to go from here?
And my goal is to work as hard as I can to be able to take care of myself, take care of my family, and then also take care of people that feel like there is no hope.
Yes.
People that feel like they can't keep going, people that felt like I used to, where I had to question, like, okay, is this life thing something that I really want to pursue?
Right.
And now that I've made that decision, like,
Yeah.
yes, I want to pursue it,
Yes.
that's definitely something that I take to heart, and I want to ensure that I'm set up in a position to where I'm practicing what I preach, like I said,
Yes.
and then also giving it out in the best ways that I can.
That word rehabilitate, that means a lot to you, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
It's because we are kind of, I guess, really all of us are rehabilitating from whatever, mental, psychological, emotional, whatever it is, that we're all just trying to put ourselves back together, perhaps, and maybe become stronger. And sometimes it's kind of nice to have other people that, we can talk to along the way and, try to gain strength and inspiration from.
Honestly, therapy was my answer.
I'm so glad.
I know that some people don't view therapy
Every
as something
day.
that helps.
He's like, I do. I have had like the last 3 or 4 shows I've been just talking about, like, you can have mental health resources for free. You could stay home and it's like, what is it? Virtual. Virtual.
Virtual, yeah.
Please.
In the comfort of your own space.
Yes,
Therapy
exactly.
may not be as favored upon or looked as bright, but honestly, that was something that really helped me, because it was a way. These people have went to school. These therapists have the resources to be able to help you to and through what you're going through. So
Yes.
that honestly worked for me. It got a lot off my chest, and I encourage anybody of
Me
any
too.
age, if you need help, go find it, because
Absolutely.
the
There's
only
so
way
many
to fail is to give up.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And we won't give up because there's so much to live for, isn't there?
Yes, there is.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm really glad. So I think we have about, I don't know, a few minutes we can talk about, is there, in 2024, what direction are you kind of going in? Like, you're going to want to do more speaking and things like that. Can you tell me kind of say the next 3 or 6 months? What do you think? Like, what are your plans? Like, do you want to continue to, learn and things like that? Or like, you're open to speaking engagements? Like,
So speaking engagements and mentorship
Very
is really
good.
my main goal.
Very good.
Making sure that I get back into the community, I give back to the community, and we're able to grow together.
Yeah.
People, like, as I said, people of all ages, but whether it's conferences, whether it's school outings, whether it's team building in the job community.
True. Yeah.
These
true.
are things that again mean the most to me. So what I'm doing right now is I am packing my schedule, and I'm ensuring that if I'm not speaking, then I'm out there, and I'm really seeing what people need, what are people going through, because that allows me to go back to the drawing board and say, okay, well, what do they want to hear?
Right.
What do they want to?
What are they looking for that I can deliver, kind of thing?
Yes. And because I don't want to talk to a wall.
Yeah.
I would prefer to talk about things that people are actually going through.
Exactly.
And things that they're experiencing. And it's not just about, what I've been through, or it's not a selfish mindset when it comes to this. This is, how do we all come together and all build together? Two or more people work better together. And, it's okay if you do it on your own, but when you have people in the community that you can rely on, that you can, collaborate with, network
difference.
with, and teamwork.
And it can be fun.
It really can. It really can. And you can really learn a lot too. And if you're not always in competition with people, you really can learn a lot. Like, you really can go from point A to
Genuinely,
Z
yeah.
in a genuine nature. Exactly.
So true.
Yes.
So I think we have like maybe 2 minutes. Just gonna put maybe the mission on for just a few minutes here. Life is often compared to
To a ladder. Yeah. Yes. So that was the one that I explained earlier.
Yeah, I like that. That was good. The ladder about going up every step, and you can't be skipping steps. Yeah, I think that's great. I really think that this is it's a beautiful image too. It's kind of like a light bulb, right?
And if you could actually put up my
the first one,
Instagram. Because that's where I post. So I post on all content outlets, but mainly on Instagram.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to. I think I'm gonna take this one out.
There we go. Yeah. So if you follow me on Instagram at JTM Speaks 1, that's the best way that I can be reached. Through my Instagram, I post all kinds of videos. I post content videos. I post all of the events that I go to. I have insight on what I'm going through. Really, everything that I'm dealing with, or if you want to keep up with me, that's how you can do it.
I loved what you posted with the lions, and they, like, I kind of saw them doing a little
Man,
dance.
how about those lions,
I'm
man?
telling you, they're so inspirational, aren't
They
they?
really are. A lot of people weren't dealing with them and rooting for them because they weren't winning. But as soon as they saw that the Lions were winning, then whoa, everybody's following them, and I love it. Trust me, I'm from Michigan, so I love it. But that really showed me that that's just like us. If we're losing or we're not winning or we're down in the dumps and we're staying in that place, people aren't gonna really follow you or push you or be there with you, right? But as soon as you take the steps to do exactly what you want to do and you get out there and you put yourself out there and faith over fear,
yes,
they're gonna follow you, and people are going to congratulate you. They're gonna be on your side. They're gonna work together, and they're gonna want to work with you.
The whole country except for California is rooting for Detroit.
Right.
It's like this big blue map, and then there's like San Francisco.
Yeah, just them. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. It's such a pleasure to spend time with you. I look forward to speaking with you again.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for watching.
There we go. Another one.